To live my life like a weasel was a very interesting question that I thought we experienced in class. And like I shared during our class time, uh, it's a scary prospect to me. Um, and the scary prospect to me is when we get to the part where we're talking about the weasel and how the weasel skull that was latched on to the eagle's neck to me was when I really felt this kind of fear at possibly living my life like a weasel. When I talked about which kind of hero I was going to be with, and I was talking about Achilles and Mother Teresa in a previous vlog, um, I kind of got brought back to this same feeling of am I going to be a hero that's known for the life I live or the death I die? And what really is different from then is that both of these weasels, it's not like the weasel had a different purpose or um, that the weasel denied its own nature. Uh, it's that the weasel pushed full force into what it meant to be a weasel, that it came to the point that it just died doing what it does. Um, and so when I put it into that, and when I shifted my perspective away from this, am I gonna die a hero or live a hero? And shifted rather to this idea of like, am I pursuing wholeheartedly what it is I'm called to the point that I would continue in sheer willpower and surrender to that calling, that I would push in to the verge of death. I was really challenged by that thought because, like I said, it scares me a bit to think like, am I going to be worn out by this? Am I going to am I eventually going to succumb to this thing? Is it going to devour me whole? Um, or will I have such tenacity and fight and come out on top and be victorious in my passion that I don't have to worry about that? Um, and when I really started to think about this, I thought, what is the harm in not trying? And I realized the harm in not trying is that if I don't push deeper into my passions, if I don't pursue my calling wholeheartedly, I'm denying who I am in myself. Um, the fact that this weasel's skull is attached to the eagle is not a badge to the eagle, but a badge to the weasel. That it's not that the eagle consumed this weasel, it's rather that the weasel had so much fight that it's holding on even after it's dead. And I think that for me is the thing that will push me past the fears that I have in my own passions. I mean, I recall one thing of my own personal fears when I was interning at a youth group was that this fear that I wouldn't be accepted by the students. And for a little bit, I kind of withheld from putting myself out there to meet with these students and to talk with them on a one-on-one level. And when I actually pushed into this passion that I have to reach out to students and got to know them on a one-on-one level, towards the end of my internship, I realized that these were going to be some of my friends that I love dearly. And so I think instead of looking at the potential for getting hurt in these things and focusing on the potential of losing everything, um, I think instead now have this perspective of I have nothing to lose by pushing full force into my calling, but everything to gain.